Watching anime is a pastime that I've had since I was just a young kid, right? Who was just introduced to it through Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, Gundam, and more shit my dad had put me onto. Mainly so I would stop bothering him so much, and also just to sort of bond with him. The man really picked me up. He really picked my little ass up and just set me in front of the TV to watch Yusuke beat the shit out of demons and threaten to beat everybody's ass. Hands Ready E for Everyone, episode 1, and I enjoyed the fuck out of it along with him because we both watch it together. It's one of our greatest pastimes together, and we still share that. So it really is nice to sit down and watch something you enjoy with other people. So with that being said, I know a thing or two about anime. I've seen a lot of shit, right? However, on this watch list for this season, I think it's pretty goddamn stacked. I'm not gonna lie. We got Reincarnated as a Slime season 3. Let's fucking go, right? I think I went ahead and, like, if I remember correctly, so it's such a long time. I don't really remember when I started reading the manga. I think it was after halfway through the first season I started reading the manga because it was actually pretty interesting. I like the whole building your own kingdom sort of anime, so this one was pretty fucking neat. But with that being said, Remonster getting an anime, I was so goddamn hyped for it because it was one of the ones that I read just because it looked interesting, and the more I read, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I didn't feel like this would get an anime, but we got Redo of Healer as an anime, so I never read that one, but that one is just incredibly wild. So I guess, you know, Remonster was just an amazing one, right, to bring into animation, and I think it's good. It's a good read as well. I'm like at chapter 100 and something or whatever. It's a good. So if you watch it so far, it's about to get even more wilder, just so be prepared. Be prepared. There's also the third season for The Irregular at the Magic High School, which is fucking baller, by the way. I love the anime. Watched season 1, 2, and 3. I think there's the movie too. I think I watched it, but I don't really remember much about it. But it's still a baller ass story, baller ass series. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. Misfits of the Demon Lord Academy season 3 as well, and Windbreaker. Holy shit. Misfits is just automatically just busted, like MC sort of funny type shit, right? But Windbreaker, oh my god, like I wasn't expecting Windbreaker to get an anime like so soon, but man, like after watching episode 1 and reading the manga to like where it is right now, where I'm caught up, it's just so fucking good, and I can't wait to see it all animated. What sort of surprised me was A New Gate. Now, A New Gate, I've seen a lot of people sort of give it pushback because when it went ahead and sort of came out, like the first episode, people thought it was like a SAO clone. But it's actually more interesting than that because it's like if Kirito was teleported into a world, into like Aincrad like 500 years later, and all the NPCs are like their own people now. And if he had his own NPCs that he cared about, they became people, and they're living their whole lives and so on. It's pretty goddamn interesting, and it's pretty cool. It's sort of like, it's a little bit generic because I think it's one of those older sort of animes, those older isekai animes from back in the day. But it's still pretty good. It's still interesting, and if you know if that's not your sort of thing, if that's not your sort of bread and butter, I would say just let it fill up. Maybe it's something that you can just have on when you're doing something. It is interesting to sort of read and sort of watch as well. So it's pretty good. And with that being said, we have Demon Slayer coming back, which is always welcome in my eyes to see. I've read the entire manga, baller shit, we're getting closer to the end. Amazing, right? Aristocrat with a appraisal skill, which is, honestly, it's one of those animes where it's sort of like kind of sweet and kind of, it's like one of those like bullshit isekai animes where the main guy isn't strong, but he gathers people around him that are strong and in different aspects and so on and so forth. It's pretty good. It's a fun sort of like wholesome anime to watch, and I think that's going to be my wholesome anime for this season. For my romance anime for this season, it's probably going to be Unnamed Memory because it actually surprisingly has a little bit of action in there, and it's pretty good. Unnamed Memory is pretty fun. It's on Crunchyroll, and it's pretty fun with like a prince who can't conceive a child because he was cursed or technically blessed by a witch, and he goes to another witch who his grandfather or great grandfather or whatever had some dealings with, and he just fell in love with her and sort of wants her to marry him so they can give birth to like the strongest baby or whatever. It's fun. it's kind of wild, but it's pretty good so far. The romance is pretty good, especially with this recent episode. It's really nice. And How to Fight. How to Fight is crazy with its implications, because we had lookism before, and I'm just like, How to Fight? Seriously? You dead ass? Are we really building up this sort of universe now? Let's go. I want it. But again, let's talk about Windbreaker, because it's one of those animes that just reminds me of like the classic old animes, like Great Teacher Onizuka, or just Yu Yu Hakusho with the delinquent fights. It's great. It's honestly lovely. It reminds me more of like Great Teacher Onizuka, like especially like later on when they start talking and having more like in-depth conversations, right? And just fuckers just casually beating the shit out of each other. It's just fun, and it's just honestly, it's one of my like highlights for this season. What also I want to discuss is Demon Slayer. Look, I love Demon Slayer, but I think it should end pretty soon, hopefully this year, because we need something else new to sort of replace it, because I don't really feel it's overstaying its welcome, but I would like something else new to sort of fill up that sort of like top anime spot. And I feel like Kaiju number 8 could pick up that spot. Honestly, Kaiju number 8 is honestly just fucking baller. I used to read it, but then I stopped because I really wanted to see it animated, and I just wanted to wait and also build up the chapters. Recently I just caught up, so I'm like super hyped about it. And now since the anime is here, it is truly amazing. Displays how funny it is, how action-packed it is, and how badass the fights can be. It's truly fucking baller. Now the webtoon How to Fight, it got an anime, which is always good in my book, because manhwa and webtoons deserve more anime being made from its stories. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my god, we're getting closer to something pretty fucking badass. Manager Kim. I wanted Manager Kim anime so fucking badly, because that shit is incredibly wild. Like, I have a whole list. I'm gonna make a whole separate video on anime that I think will be incredibly badass, just to make an anime for a bunch of action fans, a bunch of people who like different sort of types of action, like, the Muram sort of action, the sort of like superhero action, the crazy tower climbing action. It's crazy shit. And I will make a list of anime that need to be made from these stories, because it's just so fun. It's so great. The stories can be actually really badass, and if they just copy like the art styles, because a lot of these manhwas have art styles that are so fucking cool, it will be successful off rip. So that's me sort of like, gushing about anime this season. What are you guys watching this season? What's caught your eye? Tell me about it. We can definitely talk about anime, manhwa, manga, whatever. If it's your passion, if stories are your passion, we can definitely talk about it. We can talk about anything. I love talking about anime, stories in general, reading it, and just discussing anything overall in general when it comes to good story. Hope you guys are doing well. This video is just a fun little video just to talk about anime, and especially the ones this season, because it's definitely pretty fucking good. And with that being said, again, stay safe, stay healthy, mentally, emotionally, physically. See you guys later.